What's up? It's Marcus Sage of Soccer, and the USMNT national team just had their first World Cup in 8 years and a 1-1 draw against Wales, and it was a very back and forth performance. Tale of two halves. US utterly dominated the first half in a performance that got me extremely excited. Then the second, Wales put their foot on the gas pedal. Game turned around. We had an amazing first half. Like, we had all of the ball, like completely dominated the game. Like, we would have been fine with Aaron Long at center back. Like, I saw a bunch of people being like, "Oh, Tim Ream had an amazing first half." Like, no, they had no threat whatsoever. Like, not that Ream had a bad game for anything, but just such a great performance. Way with a very good finish on a nice Pulisic pass. Sargent had good hold up play to set that up. I thought the midfield in the first half was a little bit mixed. We had a lot of good build up play by guys like McKinney, Musa, Adams, but like a lot of like McKinney giveaways. Musa would do some ill-advised dribbles that we've seen common of him, but at times he was looking like Frankie De Jong like earlier today. It was just very mixed performance from the midfield. Defense was just elite today in the first half. Then the second half happened, and Wales made a substitute, bring on Kiefer Moore, and the game changed. We no longer had the majority of the ball, and we started to kind of ease up on the pressure. I think Berhalter made a big mistake going with some defensive substitutions, bringing on DeAndre Yedlin and Kellen Acosta. Dest did need to go off, but Joe Scally's just 20 times the player. And Acosta, I have to say, really good job fouling Bale at the end of the game, but he's not good enough at this level. Like, I don't know I'm assuming Gio Reyna was unhealthy. I gotta assume that Luca De La Torre wasn't ready, but you did not have to bring on Jordan Morris. God, and terrible substitutions, and that allowed Wales to get back to the game. They scored when Walker Zimmerman fouled Gareth Bale in the box. Oh, who would have thunk that Walker Zimmerman couldn't cut it at this level? It's not like I have been saying that for, over a year now? Yeah, Jesus, that was bad. Like, it's hard to talk about because it was such a good, positive first half, then everything just came crumbling down, and, like, in the first half, it wasn't perfect either. Like, we still were looking like we really couldn't break down an opposing defense. We just got pretty lucky when the game got a little bit end-to-end for a second, and Pulisic was able to make something happen with individual talent. But when you look at this team, like, we just can't get the better of a good side when they try to go at us. And honestly, like, a huge part of this loss or draw is on Rob Page of Wales, who had just a terrible setup in the first half. As mad as I am at Berhalter, if I'm a Wales fan, I am furious at him because he got Wales in a huge hole when they could have played with us. And I think he realizes that, because once they went attacking, we were on the back foot the entire time. Man, for us, Matt Turner, he doesn't look great. He had a pretty good save on a Ben Davies header, but he looked shaky, and that worries me going forward in this tournament. I think defensively, Ream, I did think he had a good game, especially considering that he hasn't played with his national team in over a year because Berhalter's an idiot. But good job there. Walker, he's not good enough, okay? Like, putting that giveaway aside, like, he had a few, or that penalty aside, he had a few giveaways in the first half. And I argue for Cameron Carter-Vickers to start for a reason, and this is it. Dest still doesn't look back up to 100%. He had a very good pass to Tim Weah in the first half, which set up a near own goal, but he needs to get back up to 100%, and if he doesn't, I'm honestly fine starting Joe Scally in the next game. Jedi Robinson was great today, shutting down a lot of attacks, bombing forward very well. Good cross to Josh Sargent, which almost scored. Like, good performance there. Adams wasn't the best in possession, but he was doing a good job breaking up a lot of counterattacks. I think, like, a lot of people say, like, oh, he had such an underrated game now. It's rated about fine. He was good defensively, that's it. That's what he is on this national team, because Berhalter plays him as a lone six. Musa, I liked him in moments, but he needs to put together a consistent game. McKinney, I liked him in moments, but I'd be fine for dropping him for Gio Reyna in the midfield. I thought that Aronson wasn't that great when he came on, so, like, I'd really try Reyna in the midfield instead of McKinney, especially, like, against England. That's going to be a tough one. Pulisic looked good today, good assist. He was always trying to make something happen and driving forward. Tim Weah, probably our man of the match. Just always a constant threat. Just such a good player for the national team. And I like Sargent today. He had good hold-up play. Like, that's why I really wasn't that upset when Ricardo Pepi was left off the team. I was just more baffled than anything. And very good header that forced the save. Like, I think it was a good performance today. Like, substitutes, Yedlin, he's not good enough. Acosta, he's not good enough. Morris, he's not good enough. Haji Wright, I think he did his job. I think he's not as good in the air and not as physical a player as Berhalter thinks, but he does his thing. And Aronson, I would have liked to see him do a little bit more. Like, I don't think he had any bad moments, and if he did, he immediately corrected it himself. Like, he gave the ball away, he'd win it back, but like, nothing that really says he should have started, especially with Weah and Pulisic being as good as they were. Hopefully we end up pretty good health-wise. I just did not like the performance from the national team, and I think Berhalter let this game go. Like, this was winnable, and we just went defensive and let Wales at us. I did not like that performance at all. And, yeah, then on to Wales. Wayne Hennessy was in goal, which, I mean, he earned it with his World Cup qualifying performance, but Danny Ward's in pretty good form right now. I think he had a couple of shaky moments, but couldn't really do anything about the goal, so that's what it is. Defense was fine for the most part. Nefham, a lot of hard fouls. Didn't build out the back nearly as well as I thought they could have, but fine today. Roberts honestly did better than I thought he would with Pulisic. Nico Williams got forward very well. He was getting the better of Dest and Yedlin all the time. Like, Williams was having a very good game. I thought Ramsey and Ampadu, especially in the second half, they started playing very well. Like, you can tell how talented those two are. Harry Wilson didn't get on the ball as much as he really could have. I thought I would have taken off Wilson instead of Dan James at halftime. Didn't have the best game. Gareth Bale, again, just not many involvements, but as my Philadelphia Union know, he doesn't need that many. He won the penalty, put it away, and had a great job. And Kiefer Moore, when he came on, he was just a great player. Like, man, he really should have started. Like, Rob Page got this game all wrong. If they came at us, if Wales would have come at us like that entire time, I can't say we get a point. But it was, looking forward, U.S., we got a point. It isn't great. I think that England game is such a wild card. Because if we manage to get a point, we're in a very good situation. But if we try to win too much, we end up going down on goal difference a lot, and that puts us in a really bad situation. It's tough to say. I'm going to have to think about it. I feel like at this point, I'd play them like how Leeds plays at Chelsea. Put Aronson on, have him press a lot, have Sargent press a lot. Pulisic and Weah will even be able to handle it. They were both getting some hits. But I think we might be able to do that. I'd definitely put in Cameron Carter-Vickers and instead of Zimmerman, and probably Scally instead of Dest. Take off McKinney, have Musa and Adams be dual 8s or dual 6s, depending on how we set up. So that's probably how I'd look at that. For Wales, they have to play more attacking against Iran. I think they definitely have the midfield to play through them, especially if they get an extra man in there. I honestly might go with a 4-back against Iran. I think you can afford to do that, but man, Taremi's such a threat. Osman just came back. It's tough to say for both teams, but for the U.S., it's disappointing because we saw how good we were at the start, but we threw that game away. And yeah, it's disappointing. Hopefully we'll be able to get it back. Probably talk more about this tomorrow or the next day. But yeah, that's all I'll talk about right now. Hopefully the U.S. can look better against England. And yeah, see you.